Everyone, so welcome you all to Ashok Tutorials Meghalaya's first MTech channel. So my dear friends, today in this video we are going to learn about the basic learning styles. So according to your senses, right, like we have different sense organs, right? Like we have eyes, we have ears, we have skin, right? So through these sense organs, how do we learn that we are going to see, right? So here different topics or subtopics are given. What are they? Let us see. Auditory, audio. What do you understand by audio? Audio means related to sound, right? Related to sound. Visual, what do you understand by visual? By the word itself you will understand that visual means something we can see, right? And tactile or kinesthetic, this is important because the word tactile or kinesthetic, you might not know what does it mean. So let me tell you, whenever you hear the word tactile, it means something we can touch or feel, and kinesthetic also means the same, that is something which we can touch or we can feel, which means that if I am a student who can learn by doing experiments or doing practicals or doing activities, then I am a student who learns by tactile or kinesthetic process or way, right? So those students who learn by being involved in that activity or in experiments or by hands-on or by performing it by themselves, they are kinesthetic or tactile learners. But those learners who learn by listening to the sound, right, listening to the lectures, they are auditory learners. And those students who can learn by looking at the chart, looking at the slides, presentations, screen, right, so they are the visual learners, right? Let us see. Learning style refers to the different ways individuals absorb, process, and retain information. Understanding these styles can enhance teaching effectiveness and improve students' learning experiences. The three main learning styles. So, how many types of learning styles are there? Basically, there are three types, all right? And if we are learning something, there are different ways in which we learn. First of all, we absorb. Suppose now you heard that yes, MTET exam is going to come very very soon, so you have already absorbed that news, right? And then you will process it in your brain. You will think, all right, so they are going to start it in February, so I have to prepare like that, right? And then the process, then you will take the action. All right, so in order to pass this exam, I have to watch Sir Ashok's video at Ashok Tutorials, right? So this is how we process the information, all right? So let us see the different types of learning styles now. First one we have is auditory learners. So these are the learners who learn by listening, right? So let us see what are the characteristics. Learn best through listening and speaking, right? So those learners who learn best through listening or speaking are known as auditory learners. Also, these learners, they prefer verbal instructions rather than written ones, which means that these students who learn by listening, they want teachers to explain. Like right now, you have enrolled yourself in Ashok Tutorials online coaching. Why? Because you are the learner who like to watch, and at the same time you want to listen to my lecture, to my explanation, right? So that's why you have enrolled in this coaching. So this is the second type or second characteristic, all right? The third one we have is excel in discussion, storytelling, and lecture. So as I have told you that auditory means related to discussions. Of course, we will use our mouth, right? We will use our language, we will use our we will use our voices in order to learn, right? Then may read aloud or talk to themselves while studying. So these type of learners who are auditory learners, what do is that they read the textbook loudly. Right now also I'm reading, right? May read aloud or talk to themselves while studying. So you might have seen certain students who like to study loudly, but there are some students who like to just look at the book and study. But there are other students who like to read aloud, even if they are in class 10, 12, does not matter. They want to read it aloud and study, right? Some of the examples can be a student who remembers information better when hearing a teacher explain it rather than reading from a book. See, now Ashok Tutorials has given you notes, and at the same time, Ashok Tutorials has also given you the explanation or the coaching. So now many students, who like to read and don't want to take the coaching, they learn better by the books. But there are some students who learn by listening also, and at the same time by reading the books also. So those students who are here listening to my lecture right now, you are, the learners who learn by using your audio visuals, which means you want to listen to my lecture also, and at the same time you also want to have the notes, you also want to copy down the notes, right? So you are what? You are audio visual learner, right? A learner who prefers podcast, audiobooks, or recorded lectures for studying. So audio learners are the learners who want to listen and study, who want to listen to the audiobooks, listen to the recorded lectures. Right now you're listening to my recorded lecture, right? It is not live, but it is online. At the same time, I have been telling you that yes, my dear friends, that you will be getting the video in the recorded form. So now, right now you're watching my video. This is what this means, that you are listening to my recorded lecture, right? Someone who understands concepts more clearly through group discussion and debate. See, now students who are good at you know who are good at audio or have audio skills more, what do? They take part in group discussions, they take part in extempore speech, and they take part in debate competitions. So extempore speech, I believe you all know what is extempore speech. Extempore speech means the student will go to the stage, pick up a topic, any topic. It can be like a lottery system, right? They will pick up, suppose a person got about to talk on water, so that person will start talking about water, right? So this is how extempore speech is done. And debate competition, I believe you all know it, right? Now let us see the strategies. Use verbal explanations, discussions, and storytelling. So in order to help the learners who learn by audio visuals, what we can do is that we can use verbal explanations. I can orally, I should orally give you the lectures, or I should tell you stories, right? This is how I will teach you. Encourage participation in oral presentation and debate. So I should encourage you, in fact you should encourage your school children to take part in debate competition, in extempore speeches. All right, provide recorded lectures or audio materials. So as what I am doing right now is that I'm providing you the recorded lectures and the audio materials at the same time, right? So whatever the notes you see on the screen right now, you might not be having them in your book. So what you can do is that listen to my lecture and at the same time write down those notes in your book. Right now we have the second type of learners. Who are the second type of learner? Visual learners. Just now I told you visual means what? Visual means by looking. So what are the characteristics? Let us see. Learn best through images, diagrams, and written instructions. See, now there might be some of you who are science students. So I am also a science student. So we science students, we don't talk much in words. We don't keep on writing. What do? We take the help of diagrams, right? So we draw the diagrams, we draw the tables, we draw the graphs, right? And that is how we excel in our learning. But those who take arts, what do they have to do? They have to write and write. For 20 marks, science students might need to write 5 pages along with diagram. But these people who take arts, for them, they need to write 10 pages without diagrams. Just write. So that's why those learners who can learn from with the help of images, diagrams, and written instructions, they are known as visual learners, right? Prefer reading, watching videos, and using charts or graphs. See, now you are watching my video, at the same time you are reading on the screen, right? So you can also see sometimes I'm displaying the charts on the screen, of course, and sometimes the graph, or sometimes different type of pictures. So you are learning through that mode, right? You learn what you see. Suppose now I tell you, listen to my word carefully, you listen what I'm saying. Apple. What comes into your mind? A red color photo of the apple, right? Is it? Yes. Now suppose if I say banana, what comes into your mind? A banana. Image of banana comes into your mind, right? Now if I say strawberry, what color comes into your mind? Of course, a red color comes into your mind, right? If I say brinjal, what color comes into your mind? The violet, the purple color, right? So this means that we have seen those images or those things somewhere, right? So that's how we remember them, right? Have a strong sense of spatial awareness and color differentiation. So those learners who are visual learners, they can differentiate, yes, this is violet, this is indigo, this is blue, this is green, right? And what they can do is that they are spatial learners, right? Or they have a lot of spatial awareness, easily recall visual details from books, notes, or pictures. So visual learners, they study from textbooks, they make their own notes, or they also collect pictures, right? They can learn with the help of pictures. So you will see in the school books, you have got lots of pictures, right? Why? So that the learners will understand better when they look at the pictures, they look at the diagrams, right? So that is why we take the help of diagrams or photos or pictures. What can be the example now? A student who remember details better when using mind maps or flashcards. See, we as teachers, we are asked to use different type of teaching aids like chart paper, like models or flashcards, right? So those students who are visual learners, they will learn in a better way by looking at the pictures or the flashcards. Someone who prefer watching educational videos rather than listening to an explanation. So we have different category of people. So some people, some of us, even you are watching my video, right? You're watching my video. My video is what? It is educational video, right? Rather than just listening it in your earphones, you are also looking on the screen. So what two senses you are using here? You are using your ears, sensation of hearing, and you are using your eyes, sensation of sight, right? A learner who highlights key points in different colors while reading. Of course, we make use of highlighters these days, right? We make use of color pens, color pencils. Why? So that this color helps us to remember the concepts in a better way, right? Now, teaching strategies. So use diagrams, charts, graphs, and mind maps. Now in your classroom, you might find children who are visual learners. So in order to help them, you should make use of diagrams, you should make use of charts, graphs, and mind maps. All right. Incorporate videos, PowerPoint presentation, and pictures. Also make use of presentation, PowerPoint presentation, PPTs, right? Slides. So of course, in these days in schools you find the smart board where you can display, you can take your pen drive and you can insert it and you can display the presentation or the pictures or the videos, right? Encourage note taking and color coding information. So you ask students to write down the notes in a color format, use different colors while writing the notes. Then uh, ask them to combine different colors or use sketch pen or use the candle color or any color they like. Or they can also make use of highlighters, right? So that they remember the concept in a better way. Now the third type of learners is tactile learner or kinesthetic learner. What did I tell you just now? I told you that tactile learner or kinesthetic learners are the learners who learn by touching or feeling or being involved in the activity or the practical or the experiments, right? Let's see. Learn best through hands-on experiences and movement. Yes, also one important word here you have to remember, that is kinesthetic means which involve movement, right? Tactile means what? Which involves movement. So this word is important. You remember this, that tactile or kinesthetic means the learners who learn by experience or experiments or movement, right? Prefer physical activities over passive learning. So these type of tactile learners or kinesthetic learners, they don't like to sit in the class and listen to the boring lectures. They want to go out, they want to go to the labs, they want to go to the library, they want to move, all right? They want to move from just ideally sitting in the classroom, and in that way they learn. have difficulty sitting still for long periods. Yes, this is true. Even I don't like to listen long lectures sitting in one place. It is boring, right? So what do? We change the place, or we stop it and we scroll some reels, and after some time we come back to the lecture, right? This is how we do. Learn better by doing rather than watching or listening. So as I told you in the beginning, that kinesthetic learners are the learners who learn by doing themselves the activity. Suppose if I want to teach you about photosynthesis, so I will not just draw the picture of the plant and teach you the photosynthesis. So what I will do is that I will go out and I will bring the actual original flower, the original plant from the pot, or I will just bring the pot inside the classroom, or take the students outside the classroom and show them, see, these are the plants, this is the name of the plant, and these are the plants which make their own food, and how do they make the food. So all this process I can explain them when I take them outside or I bring in the plant, right? Or maybe the parts of the plant, especially when you are explaining the structure of a plant, stems, roots, leaves, fruits, right? So that time you can make use of a flower of a plant which is in the pot, right? Now let us see the example. A student who understands mathematical concepts better by using blocks or physical objects. Now you see, what do we do is that we make use of blocks. We have got different materials which we use in the classroom, like dice, or the playing cards. So these are the materials which we make use in the classroom, so that the students, they touch, they feel, they hold, and they understand in a better way how to do the mathematical, how to solve the mathematical problems, right? Someone who prefer interactive science experiments over reading theory. See, we know that in science we have theory as well as we have practicals, right? So theoretical part becomes sometimes boring and we want to do the experiments, right? So similarly, there are some students who may not like the theory much, but they are excited for the experiment. They are excited to go to the laboratory, right, and perform the experiment. A learner who acts out a story to understand its plot rather than reading it passively. So these kind of tactile learners are the learners who would like, you know who would like the teachers to not passively tell the story to the learners, but these kind of learners may ask the teachers, sir, while you are explaining this story of a shepherd and a sheep, or a shepherd and a jackal, sir, can you make use of us? Can you ask the students to act, do the acting, and display how the story takes place? So in that way they will remember the concept in a better way, right? Especially for English teachers, when you are teaching a story, if possible, you ask the students to act in the story, so that all of them, they remember the concept, right? Now, teaching strategies. Use hands-on activities like experiments, role playing, and field trips. And all right, so as I told you, that these kind of learners, they learn better by experimental method, by role playing and field trips, right? That's why we have to take students outside to make them participate in the field trips. Encourage students to write, draw, or create models. So we should encourage the students to draw the diagrams, to draw the chart papers, to create different type of models, right? Science exhibition models, you remember, which we have done in our school time. So that also you can ask them to make. Or SUPW, right? Socially useful productive work. Or allow movement breaks to keep learners engaged. So of course, you are taking a 45-minute class, so don't make your students bored. Entertain them, encourage them, ask them to change their place sometimes, right? So that they stay active. If they are just sitting whole day, from the morning till the evening, then of course everybody can be tired. You can be tired, I can be tired. So you interchange their places at times, so that they feel energetic and they feel active. So don't allow them to sleep in the class. Always ask them questions, so that they feel encouraged and motivated. All right, so I think this is on this video. And yes, of course, what happens here is that, let me also explain a bit in Garo. Pengrang dao de na simang kahamo chungo tentang learners rang tungamo saubade nakachi giskrabat na matna saubade knani chi giskrap na matna saubade touch kaiba feel kaiba dang thape machina gata matna uni gaman nasimangni class to gapan bicharang duamo saubade photo nakani chi diagram nakani chi chart paper ko nakani chi ba table ba graph yarang ko nakani chi machi batna matna gata ba dunga saubade video niani chi mo saubade photo rangko niani chi aro saubarang de knani chin gis kana ba dunga mo nangni explain kha ko nangni explain ko blog in namna kano de wa mande de wa student de knai mangmang anangni learning ko improve kana ga tama nai gen aro saubarang de andang thangko wa activity involve khatna ska kinesthetic ba tactile learner rang de mai da kana andang thang wa kham ko khai ni na ska tawgata na simang flower dissection ko skiing ani sanchi bomo uno wa student rang de na dissect khana on bo flower on bo de gimen dissection khana on bo wa flower ko ratna ga tam bo wa flower ni parts rang ko phore na ga tam uno wa bisa mashi bat ken na khali phul ko draw khai mang sikhya ongde bangai ma si jo dibana jin salo wa bisa na ba phul ke sa na ya phul ko na songba ratbo dekim ratte mang ya flower ni parts rang ko name them ya gano de bufo bisong bimung maibat se thappe ji dakke ba thari gen mo uni gam ni scrabo anjungni class to rokom ga tham learners tunga skhang ga pare yan audio learners audio means my jeran khna ni chi giskrabat na manamo uni ga pade visual learners jerangan mukron chi nia ni chi giskrabat na manaro ga tham ga pade jerangan touch khachi dangtha pachi skira nagta manna jerangan science exhibition ba experiment warangko dakke machina gata man bata mo ya rokom gatam learners rangko na simang ki scrapo ne audio visual aro kinesthetic dau den deke ongja bisa saksa audio makma wa gen deke ongja saksa visual onde wa visual makma wa gen deke ongja dau gata anga na a kaban rangba anga khna ani chi nia ni chi aro wa bostu ko je ni gmana chung bekpeting amo phulong bo je mong bo ko dangta pachi ski batna gata ma si batna gata manna mo uni gman ya audio visual aro kinesthetic ba tactile ya mangtham ko option chappe anchung skina gata ba manna ya ne degi mangde yarang san oi glong ya video de so thank you everyone for staying connected with Ashok Tutorials Meghalaya's first MTech channel. Thank you.